So a lot of times we talk about financial health, but oftentimes we neglect a very important facet or a very important part of health, which is mental health and essentially mental well-being. Over the last few years, we've seen how crucial and how important mental health is. You need to have mental health before you can pursue the other aspects of life, such as your financial well-being and otherwise. Also tied into this is your physical health and your physical well-being. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about 3 important practices that have helped me maintain a healthy mental state. Before I delve into that, I'll tell you a story which really shaped the way that I practiced within my career and the way that I thought about my mental health, my physical well-being versus all the dedication and all the hard work that I plow into my career. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jumoke. On this channel, we discuss everything from personal finance to investing to wealth creation as well as self-development. So when I was interning many years ago, I interned in the city, I interned for Goldman Sachs, and I remember during that time, this was a very long time ago, and the pressure within my industry was extremely high. I think the industry has really changed for the better compared to what it was sort of 20 odd years ago, 17 odd years ago. And of course, that's a positive thing. I remember when I started and we heard some really bad news about an intern who had unfortunately passed on because of the stress and the pressure of investment banking. And I remember thinking that I really can't imagine what must have been going through their mind, where their mental health was for them to do something like that. And that was the day I decided that regardless of how much success I want in life, regardless of how much hard work I'm willing to put in my career, I need to ensure that my mental health is well looked after. And nobody, unfortunately, is responsible for that than yourself. Your employers can do all they can with things like, programs and courses. And, some employers are extremely good. They try to ensure that there's a balance between how much they expect from you in terms of your work versus how much they give back in terms of, auxiliary things and the packages that they provide to you to ensure that you're keeping a very nice lifestyle balance. Other employers don't really sort of care about that. They feel like the onus is on the individual or the employee to figure out how to balance things. So things have really moved on from when I started in the industry. And so one of the things that has kept me going and has kept me sane delving into the video is, number one, I always take time away from myself. So of course, when you're starting out in your career, you may not have the bandwidth to sort of take out as much holiday or take out as much time as you'd want to. But I think it's important to really utilize the time you have away, utilize your annual leave. You're given annual leave, paid annual leave for a reason. So make sure you're utilizing it and maximizing it to the fullest of your ability. What I tend to do is I tend to go away on holidays with family. I tend to spend a lot of time just relaxing, looking after myself, going on spa retreats, therapy treatments, etc. Just to make sure that I keep that balance and I'm detoxing from time to time. Work can get extremely stressful and we all go through those sort of high peak periods of stress. But it's very important to keep in mind that if you aren't well mentally and sort of spiritually and physically, it manifests into your activities and your performance level. So what I tend to do is when it's hit that point where I'm stressed, good thing is I don't take out stress, at work and I don't show it at work. But when it comes to that point where I feel like I need to pull back, I book myself on a holiday, most times with my family, a nice retreat in the countryside, ensuring that I'm taking time out to really just detox, breathe a little bit, enjoy the things I enjoy, rest, read, cycle, go to the gym, take walks. All of these activities are activities that really keep me sort of, centered and balanced. And this practice has really gone a long way in helping me keep a very healthy balance between work and life. The second thing I do, which might be a very controversial point, is that at a certain time in my day, I tend to switch off, i.e. switch off my work mobile phone and just spend time for me. So I say this is controversial because it really depends on where you are at in your career, and it also depends on what sort of colleagues and work family that you have. Some employers are very unkind when it comes to expecting people to be available 24 hours a day. You've got to switch off at some point. And for me, that is literally switching off my work mobile phone at sort of 9 o'clock in the evening. I'm trying to get that to be a little bit earlier, but switching off my mobile phone and just, taking time to enjoy my environment, to be in the present, has really gone a long way in helping me not only relax, but it's also helped me increase my performance at work, because it means that I'm not constantly stressed about work. And there comes a point during my day that I look forward to where it's just, myself with a cup of coffee, or, having a fruit, or just enjoying some TV. And I really think that's important, taking some time out within your day to spend time by yourself and shutting yourself out, away from work. Now, some people find that very hard to do. I used to be that way, but I started to realize that regardless of how many hours I put into work when I came home, work pretty much never ends. So the same amount of work is waiting for you the next day because you've been very diligent and been very efficient in finishing what you have. But what you find out is the next day you go into work, things just keep piling up. So the point is, work never ends. And so it's very important to learn how to manage that time, manage the time for yourself, and manage the time that you have for work every single day. The third thing that has really helped me stay healthy mentally, and this is going to sound very odd, but it is investing. I know that sounds very boring, but for me, it really made a difference. And when I started investing, sort of paying close attention to my investments and being intentional and considered about my investments, that really changed things for me, because I work very hard, and I'm sure a lot of us do. A lot of you watching this are very hard workers, and at the end of the day, you want to feel that I'm spending a large portion of my life dedicated to working for my employer and building other people's wealth. But at the same time, at the end of the month, you want to feel like, I've made this amount and I have allocated a certain portion to building my own wealth and building my own life. And so it, for me, became very important every single month to take a portion of my income and invest it. That was how I was building my dream. And so investing has really created this sense of direction, if you will, a sense of accomplishment. I'm working towards something. And that's sometimes what keeps me going. I'm sure we all have those days when we wake up and as much as you might love what you do for a living, sometimes you just feel that, I'm really not in the mood I really don't feel like going into work. I'm not motivated, and that's okay. But in those moments, oftentimes I find that looking forward to the end of the month where I can allocate some liquidity into assets really does keep me going. So I know, okay, I'm doing this for a reason and I'm building something, I'm building a legacy. And that's why investing became very important and became second nature to me, because it really was a way for me to take all this hard work, take all the diligence, and take those stressful times and plow that into something that meant that I was building a future for myself and something tangible that was mine. And so investing was another way for me to keep my mental health in a very good place. So this is a very short video, but I hope it's been helpful. I know that work can be very stressful, and all you hear nowadays is financial this, financial that, invest in this, invest in that. But it's very important, like I said in the video, to take some time out for yourself. Look after your mental well-being, look after yourself physically, do the things that make you happy so that you are in the right position and the right setting or right mind frame to pursue the other things that are important to you.